Am I visible and audible to you people? Clearly? Give me a thumbs up in the chat box if I'm clearly visible and audible to you people. So I can start the class ahead fast. Okay, thanks. Thanks for confirmation, Anshul. Okay. So welcome you all for today's session. A very good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Priyanka Sachdev here, medical entrance educator on Unacademy. And today I am here to continue my series Target December FMG. So we have to target December FMG, right? Just a second. So for that we are having almost 70 days of preparation. I'm not counting last 15 days. On 12th of December, we have the exam, right? So let me start. So today's session is about pathology. In pathology, yesterday we have already started inflammation. I have started acute inflammation yesterday. I will continue that portion. I will finish inflammation first. Then I will come on chemical mediators. After that, I will come on wound healing. Done. Are you people there? Should I start it? So yesterday we have started acute inflammation. In yesterday's lecture, we have already seen the vascular events and we have not started, we have just started cellular events. Cellular events are in between, right? So there are 5 vascular events and 6 cellular events. So total there are 11 events. We know. So total there are 11 events. We already know it. So what are the 5 vascular events? Just in the first 2 minutes or 3 minutes, we will do a revision of the vascular events, which we have done yesterday. And immediately after that, we will finish cellular events. So what were the vascular events? Who will help me in revising vascular events? What are the 5 vascular events? What are the 5 vascular events? This is our master diagram in which we revise all the events. So can you see, this is the skin. This is the skin. Just below the skin, this is a blood vessel here. You can see, just a second. You can see this is a blood vessel here. This is a blood vessel here. And this is a microbe. This is a microbe which has entered below the skin. It is extravascular. It is present outside the blood vessel but below the skin. So we want to make fight between the army and the terrorist. This is the terrorist and this is the army. This is the WBC. So we want to make fight between the two. So we want to take WBC out for that. So all the 11 events are directed towards that thing only. Done. So for what we will do 5 vascular events. What are the 5 vascular events? Who will help me in revising that? The first event is vasoconstriction. Can you see? Yes, you are right. So the first event, Virendra, you are right. Rahul, here it is transient vasoconstriction. So can you see the blood vessel just below the microbe undergo vasoconstriction temporarily? That is transient vasoconstriction. The second event is persistent vasodilatation. After that, the blood vessel get dilated. That is persistent vasodilatation. The third event is increased hydrostatic pressure. So because there is more blood, so there is more water, so it is increasing the hydrostatic pressure. So fluid will come out. It will lead to edema, transudate type of edema. The fourth event is the hallmark. The fourth event was the hallmark yesterday, increased vascular permeability. So all there are holes. The holes are created in the wall of the blood vessel. The creation of these holes or gaps is known as increased vascular permeability. So along with the fluid, protein is also coming out. So such edema in which fluid along with protein also present, that is known as exudate type of edema. We have seen that yesterday. Now there are 5 mechanisms of increasing this vascular permeability. We have already seen the 5 mechanisms. I'm not repeating it. And the last is stasis. Last is blood stasis. So these were the 5 vascular events: vasoconstriction, transient vasodilatation, persistent, increased hydrostatic pressure, increased vascular permeability, and stasis. These were the 5 vascular events. Let me come on the cellular events. Yesterday we couldn't complete cellular events now. So let me come on the cellular events now. So what are cellular events? So till now, this is the scenario. This is the scenario. This is a blood vessel. You all can see this is a blood vessel here lined by the endothelial cell. This is a blood vessel here, and here is a gap. This gap is created by one of the 5 mechanisms. We know the names of the 5 mechanisms. By any one of the 5 mechanisms, this gap is already created. Now we want to take WBC out of this gap. But the problem is that WBC travel at the center of the blood, and we want to, the gap is at the periphery. So the first step will be margination. WBC will leave the center and it will come at the periphery. So these are the steps. The first step is the margination. So this is known as reverse blood flow, reverse axial flow. WBC are coming at the margin. Then they will roll. Yes, rolling. Then they will roll. They will roll till the gap comes. Till the gap comes, they will roll on the surface of the endothelial cell. So the second step is always rolling. This is the second step. Done. Second step. Just before the gap, the WBC stops. This is known as adhesion. The third step is always adhesion. WBC stops just before the gap. Fourth step, WBC comes out from intravascular space to extravascular space. That is the fourth step. In the fourth step, WBC is coming out. This is known as transmigration. Transmigration, WBC is actually coming out in the fourth step. After that, WBC has to move towards this microbe. This is a microbe here. This is a microbe. WBC has to move towards this side, not in any other direction. So how WBC will move in this direction? This microbe will secrete certain chemicals. I will tell you the name of those chemicals also. That chemical will attract the WBC towards it. So WBC is traveling towards chemical. Traveling means taxis, chemotaxis. The fifth step is chemotaxis. And lastly, when WBC will arise near the microbe, the last step is phagocytosis. WBC will engulf it and kill it. So I will give you details of each step. So these are the 6 steps. These are the 6 steps. This is a diagram from Robbins. You can see this is a simplified diagram also. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. I will give you the detail of all of them. So you can see this is margination. First WBC is coming at the margin. After that it is rolling. Just before the gap, it is sticking there. It is known as adhesion. After that, it is coming out of the gap. That is known as transmigration, transmargination. And after coming out, it is moving. It is moving towards microbe, that is chemotaxis. Then it is engulfing the microbe, that is phagocytosis. So these are the 6 steps. Let me tell you the detail of a little bit detail of each of them on which MCQs can be asked. The first step, margination. As I have told you, according to Bernoulli's theorem, in any pipe, if fluid is traveling inside a pipe, the heavy portion of the fluid will travel at the center and the lighter portion will travel at the periphery. So in blood, RBC, WBC, platelet, WBC are the heaviest one. So WBC will travel at the center. These are surrounded by RBCs and platelet, and these are surrounded by plasma. So plasma is the lightest one. So the first thing, this is known as axial blood flow. So the first thing, we have to take WBC at the periphery. That is reverse axial blood flow. We have to do reverse axial blood flow. How we will do that? What is the mechanism? What was the last step in vascular events? There were 5 vascular events. Now, after that, cellular events will start. There were 5 vascular events. If you remember, vasoconstriction, vasodilatation, increased hydrostatic pressure, increased vascular permeability. The last one was stasis. If anything is flowing, if the blood is flowing constantly, then the heaviest thing will travel at the center. But if imagine this, in this portion, blood is not flowing, it is stasis. The blood is in stasis, then due to gravity, the heavy thing will fall down. The heavy thing will fall down due to gravity. So that is the mechanism, how margination takes place. Have you got it? So due to margination, the WBCs are going to the periphery. The WBCs are forming a line over the periphery, and the redistribution of blood is taking place. Redistribution due to the stasis, redistribution of blood is taking place. Heavy thing is falling down. Redistribution and reverse axial blood flow is taking place. So WBC coming at the margin, known as margination, also known as pavimentation. Margination or pavimentation. That is the first thing, margination or pavimentation. First, coming on second and third, rolling. I will take these two together. How rolling and adhesion takes place? As I have told you, after coming at the periphery, WBC is rolling on the surface of endothelial cells. See, these are endothelial cells. So on endothelial cells, there are receptors, and corresponding receptors are present on WBC. So bonds are formed between them. Bonds are formed, then WBC is attached, then bonds are broken down, then WBC moves, then again bond is formed, then again broken down, then formed, then broken down. So bonds are transient, which is leading to the rolling. So bonds are formed between 5 corresponding pairs. I will tell you the 5 pairs. Yesterday also I have taught you. So I will tell you in short, the 5 pairs. The bonds are transient. Can you see the bond here? Let me highlight a bond. Can you see this bond? Can you see this bond? Can you see this bond? This one. So these bonds are transient. These are leading to adhesion. These are leading to rolling. Give me a thumbs up. Then the second thing is adhesion. So just before the gap, WBC has to stop here. It doesn't have to move further. So bonds here, which are formed here, will be firmer, will be more firmer. See here. Here four bonds are formed. Can you see? Instead of 2, there are 4. So it will be much firmer. So it will stop now. It will not move ahead. So bonds formed in adhesion are firmer. They are not transient. They are much firmer. Have you got it? So what are the bonds formed? Tell me the name of the receptors. So these are known as complementary adhesion molecule, CAM, complementary adhesion molecule. So the 5 pairs. So you have to tell me five receptors present on endothelial cells and the corresponding 5 receptors present on WBC. So you have to tell me 5 couples or 5 pairs. Specific pairs are there. Specific receptor on endothelium will bind with specific receptor on WBC. Yes, you all are right. So how it is formed? Yesterday also I have told you P-selectin and E-selectin. P-selectin and E-selectin are present on the endothelial cell and it will form a bond with silyl-Lewis X. Silyl-Lewis X on the WBC. So the first pair is P-selectin and silyl-Lewis X. Second pair is E-selectin and silyl-Lewis X. Coming on the third pair. In third pair, L-selectin is present on WBC. It is L for leukocyte. So there are 3 selectins. P and E is present on endothelial cell and L-selectin is present on WBC. So L-selectin on WBC, it will form a bond with glycam. Glycam receptor on the endothelial cell. So the third pair is glycam with L-selectin. This is the third couple, third pair. Done. Fourth and fifth, ICAM and BCAM. ICAM and BCAM are present on the endothelium and beta-2 integrin and beta-1 integrin is present on the WBC. So the fourth and fifth pair is ICAM with beta-2 integrin and BCAM with beta-1 integrin. You can see. So name 5 pairs. So it is the table given here. So this is the first pair, P-selectin with silyl-Lewis X. This is the second pair, E-selectin with silyl-Lewis X. This is the third pair, glycam with L-selectin. This is the fourth pair, ICAM with beta-2 integrin. This is the fifth and last pair, VCAM with beta-1 integrin. Give me a thumbs up. You have to learn which molecules are present on endothelial cells, these ones. And you have to learn which molecules are present on WBC, this one. You cannot interchange them. So specific 5 pairs are formed. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. जितने लोग audience हैं, उतने thumbs up चाहिए. So give me a thumbs up. Everyone means everyone. Everyone. You are not deaf, right? So give me a thumbs up fast. So now one more thing which I would like to add here, which I have not launched polls yesterday based on that. Now I will launch polls now. Polls will be much difficult. So endothelial पे which 5 things are present? And tell me corresponding receptors on WBC. Corresponding receptors on WBC. Who will tell me? So tell me the pairs. Endothelium पे क्या क्या present है? P-selectin, E-selectin, glycam, ICAM, and VCAM. These 5 things are present on endothelium. What are the 5 things present on WBC? Corresponding. P-selectin forms a bond with silyl-Lewis X. E-selectin forms a bond with silyl-Lewis X only. Glycam form a bond with L-selectin. ICAM form a bond with beta-2 integrin. VCAM form a bond with beta-1 integrin. Okay. Why I have written this again? Why I have written all this again? This I have already explained. I want to explain something else also. So the first pair is responsible for rolling. Second pair is responsible for rolling plus adhesion. Both. The third pair is because the first pair bond will be only transient. In the second pair it will be transient also, firmer also. The third pair again for rolling. The fourth and fifth pair for adhesion. Learn it for MCQs. So one of the selectins, there are 3 selectins. Now let me mark 3 selectins for you. P-selectin, E-selectin and L-selectin. So out of these 3 selectin, E-selectin is responsible for both rolling and adhesion. Have you got it? Yes or no? Say it. Done. So there are 5 specific pairs. The one which are present on endothelium, the one which are present on WBC, and which pair is responsible for which mechanism. Give me a thumbs up. So the first pair responsible for rolling, second for rolling plus adhesion, third again for rolling, the fourth for adhesion and fifth for adhesion. I would like to add one more pair here, last pair, sixth pair. Sixth pair neither responsible for rolling nor for adhesion. Next step क्या है? After rolling and adhesion, what will be the next step? This WBC will move out. That is trans. Can you see this WBC is moving out? That is transmigration. Transmigration also takes place with the help of receptors. So corresponding receptors on both of them. On WBC is also an endothelial cell also. So can you see these ones? These ones on the WBC and these one on WBC and these one on the endothelial cells. So these receptors are directing and pushing the WBC out of the blood vessel. So what is the name? What is the name of this pair? This pair. Only one receptor which is common on both is PCAM and PCAM, which is common on both, on endothelium also, on WBC also. And this pair is responsible not for rolling, not for adhesion. It is responsible for transmigration. PCAM, the another name of PCAM is CD31. CD31. All these are previous year MCQs. Give me a thumbs up fast, every one of you. How many MCQs, new MCQs can be framed from this table? At least I can frame new 20 MCQs from this single table. I can frame it right now. I can frame it. And many image-based questions can also be framed from this Robbins image. Yes or no? So any pair, can you see this pair, this pair? Now if you see this Robbins diagram, see the corresponding pairs and see the name of the pairs. You will get it. Yeah, this is pair number 1, this is pair number 2, this is pair. And see the last pair, last sixth one. This is PCAM on both of them. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. The same PCAM, you can see it here also. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. So I'm done with this. So P selected and L selectin are responsible only for rolling, but E selectin is responsible for rolling as well as addition, because this is a second pair. Second pair is responsible for both, as I have already told you. Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Should I move ahead? Should I move ahead? Okay. So we are done with margination. We are done with rolling. We are done with adhesion. Coming on the fourth step, transmigration. The another name of transmigration is diapediasis. Learn the another name. Learn the another name. Transmigration, also known as diapediasis. So what is transmigration? Escape of WBC out of the blood vessel. This phenomenon. WBC is escaping out. From intravascular, it is becoming extravascular. This is known as transmigration or diapediasis. One and the same thing, because hole is already there. Can you see? Can you see? This is WBC. This is adhesion. This is, I have zoomed out this portion for you. I have zoomed out this portion for you. So you can see the WBC is coming out. You can see the receptors here. You can see the name of the receptor. The same receptor is present on endothelium cell also, on WBC also. The name of the receptor is PCAM or CD31. Give me a thumbs up, fast. You can see electron microscopic diagram also showing the same thing. Then how it is happening? How it is happening? Actually, the cell which wants to come out, that WBC which wants to come out, that will send a pseudopode, cytoplasmic extension pseudopode out. So this is the cell will, WBC will first form a pseudopode. That pseudopode will go out and slowly it will push. Done. So first a pseudopode will be formed. So this is the mechanism. Cytoplasmic pseudopode will be lodged in that gap, in that hole, and then it will secrete an enzyme collagenase that will destroy the basement membrane, then it will come out. So this is the whole mechanism. It is also known as diapediasis. It is through PCAM or CD31. It is a passive process. Done. The first, there are 5 types of WBCs now: neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, monocyte, and lymphocyte. Which one is coming out? The first one, the one which is coming out, is neutrophil. So neutrophil is the one which comes out earliest. So earliest there is neutrophilia. Done. Within the first 24 hours, neutrophils comes out immediately. Neutrophils comes out immediately. Give me a thumbs up. Fast. So can you see? All of these are neutrophils, multilobated nucleus. So earliest to come out is neutrophil within the first 24 hours. After that, monocyte and macrophages, for the next 24 hours, they will come out. So you have to learn it. You have to, it is like neutrophils. Can you see? In acute inflammation, neutrophils are looking like this. So these are the first cells which comes out. So these are the neutrophils. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So we are done with transmigration also. Coming to the next step, chemotaxis. How chemotaxis takes place? How chemotaxis? What is the definition of chemotaxis? So this is chemotaxis, you can see here. So this is WBC. WBC don't have eyes. So he will look here and there, where I have to go. Here is the microbe, I have to go here. Here there is no microbe, I don't have to go here. It is not like that way. So microbe is secreting the chemical that is attracting the WBC, and WBC is moving towards chemical. So taxi means movement, and chemo means chemical oriented. So chemical oriented unidirectional movement. So it is typically a unidirectional chemical oriented movement. That is the definition of chemotaxis. Give me a thumbs up. So this is how this WBC, after coming out of the blood vessel, it is moving towards the microbe. Chemotaxis. But what are the chemicals? Name 4 chemicals which is secreted by the bacteria, which are chemotactic agents. So there are 4 chemicals you have to learn on the tip of your tongue. Number one, it is leukotriene B4. Leukotriene B4. Number 2, it is C5A and C3A. Complement C5A and complement C3A. Number 3, it is interleukin 8. Interleukin 8. So total 4 are there. These are the 4. Among these, C5A is the strongest one. So name 4. I will try to write it for you because it is confusing. So what is the name? What is the name of leukotriene? What is the name of complement? 2 complements are there. And what is the name of interleukin? You have to number them. Numbering is difficult. Sometimes in exams we get confused. Yes or no? So yes, I get confused in the exam. So it is leukotriene B4. It is interleukin 8 and C5A complement C5A and C3A. Learn the numbers. Learn the numbers. One is leukotriene, one is interleukin, and two are complement. Never forget which is the strongest one among these. C5A is the strongest and most powerful one. These are the chemotactic agents. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. Never forget these numbers because examiner will try to confuse you in the numbers. C5A is the most powerful chemotactic agent. Yeah? It is a chemokine. So that is the thing. Now, how locomotion takes place? Movement kaise ho raha hai? Which is the movement. This WBC is moving from here to there. Na? So movement kaun kara raha hai? Movement is done by actin filament. Movement is done by actin filament. Again a one-liner. Done. Now there is an experiment to prove this process of chemotaxis. There is an experiment. Experiment is done by a scientist known as Boyden chamber experiment. It is a very simple experiment. What Boyden has done, Boyden has taken a jar. Can you see a jar? The jar is separated by a membrane, filter membrane. Can you see this is a filter membrane? It is a filter membrane. On one side of the membrane, he put the chemotactic agents. Suppose it is a chemotactic, the strongest one, it is C5A. It can be anything. Yes. So it is a strong chemotactic agent. On other side of the jar, he has taken neutrophils. These are the neutrophils. So after some time, he has seen the neutrophils are moving towards the chemotactic agent from the spaces or pores present in the filter membrane. So it proves that this chemical is attracting the neutrophils. Give me a thumbs up. So that is Boyden experiment. Boyden's experiment proving chemotaxis. So chemotaxis is proven. So any image-based question can come in your exams. So I am done with 5. Till now I am done with 5. What 5 I have done? I have done. The first one is margination, then rolling, then adhesion, then transmigration, then chemotaxis. The last one, phagocytosis, is still remaining, but phagocytosis is a big topic. Before that, I would like to launch polls based on these 5 if you people want it. Do you want it? You have to give me 1 minute if you want the polls to be launched based on these topics. The polls are a little bit tricky and difficult one. Don't get confused. You will get only 15 seconds to mark the correct answer. Just a second. Just a second. Just one more second. Okay, so this is the first question in front of you. Many questions are there based on this topic. Now you yourself can see. This is the first question in front of you. Mark the correct answer. Okay, I'm launching it. Just a second. 4 options are there now. Okay. Okay, so this is the first question in front of you. What is the correct sequence of extravasation of WBC? What is the correct sequence? What is the correct sequence of cellular events? Yesterday I have launched the same question for vascular events. I have asked you, those who attended yesterday's lecture, they know. I have asked the correct sequence for vascular events. Here I have asked the correct sequence for cellular events. You know the sequence. It is margination, rolling, adhesion, transmigration, chemotaxis, and phagocytosis. Arrange them. So answer A is correct. Margination, rolling, adhesion, and transmigration. The first 4 are given only. So Jana, Ramzan, and Tabish are first to answer it correctly. Very good. Most of you are correct. The correct answer here, just a second. The correct answer here is A. Done. Okay, let me launch the second question. This is the second question in front of you. Be fast. Leukocyte migration through the capillary wall is called as. Is it called rolling? Is it called diapidiasis? Is it called migration? Is it called pigmentation? What it is called? Just understand the question. What they are asking. This is a blood vessel and this is a leukocyte. Leukocyte means WBC. So leukocyte migrating through the blood vessel wall, capillary wall. It is migrating out. So leukocyte migrating out of the blood vessel, out of the capillary. So the phenomenon is known as transmigration. But transmigration is not given in the option, ma'am. What should I mark? The another name of transmigration is diapidiasis. Go with diapidiasis. So the correct answer here is B. Most of you are right. Anant, Rajesh, and Haritha are first to answer it correctly. Very good. Very correct. Very good, very correct. Now, all these questions are from your past papers only. By the way, I am having an important announcement. I will forget it in the end. Let me announce here only. I have an important announcement for all FMGE, December FMGE aspirants on this Wednesday. I don't know the day. Today is Friday, na? So Friday ke baad Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. On Wednesday, after 4 days, on the coming Wednesday, on this mega Wednesday, I am going to launch your PYQs. All PYQs together on the Wednesday. I have launched 5 sessions, 3 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. So I will cover patho, complete pathology questions from all past papers. So the classes will be like this: 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, I will take June 2021, right? Am I right now? Yes, June 2021 paper. Before that, December 2020 paper. Before that, June 2020 paper. Before that, December 2019 paper. Before that, June 2019 paper. Give me a thumbs up. So these 5 papers, 1 hour for each paper, all patho questions. There will be almost 15 questions in each of them. We are going to cover on this Wednesday. And if it rocks, the next day I will take pharma, then micro. One by one, we will take the subjects and we will cover PYQs in this way. Give me a thumbs up if you like the idea. For that, I need audience. Please ask your friends, colleagues, juniors, seniors, all FMGE aspirants. Mostly I need December aspirants. If your juniors are there, they are targeting June, next to June 2022 all FMG. They can also attend. It will be useful for them also. Or super juniors can also attend. So your juniors can attend it. Done. So please spread the message to everyone. I will share the links on Telegram, everywhere on all social media. The links will be shared to you. Done. Of all 5 sessions together. Done. 9, 10, 11, 3, 4 years on, right, on Wednesday. So every Wednesday, mega Wednesday, we can do it till your exam. So till your exams, all the papers will be done, Danny, of all subjects. Done. Subject by subject we will take. So this Wednesday is Patho Wednesday. Done. We will start with Patho. Then we will come on Pharma, Micro, Medicine, PSM 1 by 1. Done. Okay, done. So the announcement is over. Let me move ahead. This is, I just forgot. Okay. Okay. So this is the next question in front of you. Rolling is done by, rolling is mediated by. I'm asking the complementary adhesion molecule for rolling. Complementary molecule for rolling. Yes. What is the correct answer? Yes, most of you are right. The correct answer here is D. It is P-selectin. So Rahul, Virendra and Tabish are first to answer it correctly. The correct answer here is P-selectin. You can see rolling. This is rolling and adhesion both. And this is rolling. This is adhesion. This is adhesion. So rolling is done by P-selectin. By P-selectin, rolling is done. What were the other options? Other options were ICAM beta-2 integrin. IL-8 to Heini. IL-8 to it is not a complementary adhesion molecule. ICAM and beta-2 integrin is there, but here is the pair. You can see ICAM and beta-2 integrin wala pair. ICAM and beta-2 integrin wala pair is doing adhesion. It is not doing rolling. So that's why I have ruled out these 2 options. ICAM I have not marked. Beta-2 integrin I have not marked because this pair is doing adhesion. And IL-8 to Heini na role, it is not in the role. So correct answer here is P-selectin. Have you got it? Have you got it? Should I proceed? So this way questions are tricky. This is a difficult question at my level. I will put it in difficult one. Done. So this is a difficult question. If you don't know this table, you cannot mark it. Ispe andaza nahi chalega. You should be sure enough. Done. So this is the next question in front of you. Okay, it is easy one. I guess it is easy one. I guess. Most important for diapidiasis. Which chemokine or which receptor is most important for diapidiasis? Diapidiasis, the other name of diapidiasis is transmigration. So which one is important or which one is responsible for transmigration? Only one which is present on both cells. The common in both cells, that is endothelial cells and WBC cells, is PCAM. The another name of PCAM is CD31. So correct answer here is A. You all are right. Hardik, Khushi and Ramzan. You all are right. Correct answer here is A. Done. Should I proceed ahead? Correct answer here is A. This is the next question in front of you. Easy one. Everyone will be right. It's a baby question. It is an easy one. So all of the following is a family of selectins except which is not a selectin. The options are P-selectin, L-selectin, and E-selectin and A-selectin. So which of the following is not a selectin? Of course, you have not heard the name A-selectin. What is this? It doesn't exist actually. So P-selectin and E-selectin are present on endothelial cells. P and E-selectin are present on endothelial cells. And L-selectin, L for leukocyte, they are present on WBCs. So these 3 are the selectins, but A-selectin is not a selectin. So correct answer here is C because except is asked in the question. Hardi, Ramzan and Anant are first to answer it correctly. Very good. Correct answer here is C. This is the next question in front of you. A tricky one. Easy one, but tricky one. I guess it is easy, but little bit tricky. You will get confused with the numbers. That's why I have asked you to learn the numbers particularly. Yes or no? So what are the 4 important chemokines you already know? So tell me the leukotriene, tell me the interleukin, and tell me two complements. Tell the numbers. Tell the numbers. Who will tell me the numbers? Leukotriene was B4, I guess. Interleukin was 8, I guess. And complement was C3A and C5A. Among those, which is present in the options, just look. So in the options, I can find C5A. So correct among them is C5A. C3B is not there. C3A is there, but C3B is not there. So correct is B. So most of you are correct. Virendra, Anant, and Hari Krish are first to answer it. Done. Okay, so the correct answer here is B. Let me move ahead. Okay, this is the next question in front of you. This is the next question in front of you. Diapediasis mainly occur. Diapediasis means transmigration. In which of the blood vessel? Whether it occurs mainly in arterioles, whether it occurs in venules, whether it occurs in capillaries, or none. In which of the following? Most of you are incorrect. I don't know why. You are marking capillaries as correct answer. What you have thought, you should have a reasonable. You should be reasonable. If I can't ask you the questions now, if there is an option for raise a hand, I can hear your voice also, and immediately I can ask the questions. Anyways, listen. Why you have marked capillaries? You are wrong. The correct answer here is B, venules. Why? Let me explain why. So this is a blood vessel. In the blood vessel, I have told you there are 5 mechanisms by which we have created the holes. We have created the gaps. What were those 5 mechanisms? Can anyone enumerate through which this WBC will come out? There were 5 mechanisms yesterday I have taught you by which we have created these gaps. That is, we have increased vascular permeability. So what were the 5 mechanisms? The first mechanism was endothelial cell contraction. The endothelial cells were contracting, endothelial contraction. The second was direct injury, that is done by the terrorist. The third was leukocyte mediated injury, that is done by the army, that is WBC. The fourth one was transcytosis, cell within cell. And the fifth one was angiogenesis, new blood vessels are already leaky. So these 5 mechanisms, among these 5, endothelial cell contraction, leukocyte mediated, and transcytosis, these mainly occur in venules. These mainly occurs in venules, and rest of them can occur at all levels. So venules में सबसे ज़्यादा gap होंगे. The maximum gaps will be present in venules. So maximum WBC will come out from venules. Yes or no? Common sense. गैप जहां होंगे वहीं से तो आएगा ना बाहर. बिना गैप के कैसे आ जाएगा? कैपिलरी में ज्यादा गैप नहीं होते हैं, ज्यादा गैप venules में होते हैं. Yesterday I have told you maximum gaps are in venules because most of the mechanisms are causing gaps in venules. So correct answer here is venules. Done. Give me a thumbs up. Rutvi, Virendra, and still are fast to answer it correctly. Give me a thumbs up. Fast. Those who are wrong, I want thumbs up from them. Those who are wrong, those who are right, they know the concept. Those who are wrong, I want to explain this concept. Done. Okay, done. If you are knowing it, let me move ahead. This is the next question. Let me skip it. This is the next question in front of you. Okay, let me mark it first. Okay, you mark now. Chemotaxis. What is the definition of chemotaxis? What is chemotaxis? Is it a random multidirectional movement? Is it unidirectional movement? Is it adhesion? The meaning of chemotaxis is adhesion to the endothelium, or chemotaxis is augmented oxygen demanded bactericidal effect. Most of you are right. It is a unidirectional movement directed towards the chemicals secreted by the bacteria. So the correct answer here is B. And Hari Krish, Anshul, Vizi are first to answer it. Good. The correct answer here is B. This is the next question in front of you. Again, based on chemokines, chemical attractants. So chemotaxis is mediated by which chemicals? So again, let me enumerate the 4 chemicals. I'm writing directly. Interleukin 8, leukotriene B4, C3A, complement 3A, and C5A. Now look at the options. Look at the options. I guess B is right. Leukotriene B4 is given. Leukotriene B4 is given here. Leukotriene B4 and C5A is also given. So answer B is right. Leukotriene C4 नहीं होता है, B4 होता है. C3 ये तो correct है. 5A भी होता है, 3A भी होता है. But B4 तो होता है, but C4 नहीं होता. So answer C is incorrect. So B is correct. And 70% of you are right. So Rajat, Anand, and Ramzan are first to answer it correctly. Very good, very good. So it was a tricky question. I guess you have to learn the numbers. You have to be sure enough about the numbers and the letters there. Done. So which leukotriene, which interleukin, and which complement? You have to learn the letters and the numbers. Done. So correct answer here is B. Let me move ahead. Let me move ahead. Okay. 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 So this question is based on yesterday's knowledge. This question is based on yesterday's knowledge. Immediate transient type of increased vascular permeability is seen in which Which vessel of the acute inflammation? In which of the following vessel? So what is the name of this immediate transient type? Yesterday I have told you 5 mechanisms through which gaps are created. That is 5 mechanisms for increased vascular permeability. Just now I have enumerated them. The first one is endothelial cell contraction. The second one was direct injury. The third was leukocyte mediated injury. The fourth one was transcytosis, cell within cell, and the fifth one was angiogenesis, that is formation of new blood vessel. Yesterday also I have told you the first three are important. The first one is immediate transient, the second is immediate prolonged, and the third is delayed prolonged. I have told you this mnemonic also yesterday. Those who are old students, they know it. So IP, IP, DP. Here the first letter is indicating the onset, and the second letter is indicating the duration. You should know the difference between onset of a disease and duration of a disease. So onset is fast, duration is short in the first one. Onset is fast, but duration is long in the second one. Onset is delayed, duration is also prolonged in the third one. So here onset and duration both are less. Here onset is less, but duration is more. And here duration and onset both are more. So I am talking about which one in the question? They are talking about immediate transient. Immediate transient means they are talking about endothelial cell contraction, and endothelial cell contraction mainly occurs in venules. So the correct answer here is A. So it is an indirect question. Correct answer here is A. तुक्का मारोगे तो ठीक है, but actual concept is this. Done. So Hardi, Anshul, and Vaidehi are first to answer it correctly. Very good. So the correct answer here is A. So this is how you can relate the maximum diapedesis and transcytosis. Transmigration occurs in venules only, which was my previous question, right? So here A is the correct answer. This is the next question. Okay, let me skip this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, let me see. No, यहाँ पे एक भी option is not right. So let me this one also. Okay, this one. Yeah. What is diapedesis? What is the definition of diapedesis? Who will tell me the definition of diapedesis? Yes. Who will tell me the definition of diapedesis? What is diapedesis? Diapedesis is another name of transmigration. So yes, what is correct about it? So it is immigration of leukocyte through the vessel wall to the site of the inflammation. From intravascular, it will become extravascular. So the correct answer here is B. Most of you are right. Anand, Anshul, and Surya are first to answer it correctly. Very good, very correct. Correct answer here is B. Let me move ahead. I am done with the first 5 events: margination, rolling, adhesion, transmigration, chemotaxis. Let me come on the last event, phagocytosis. Now it is difficult to understand. I will try my best. Phagocytosis means engulfment of the microbe by the WBC. That is cell eating. WBC will eat the microbe. Can you see? This is the WBC. The green color cell is the WBC. And can you see this purple color dot is the microbe? So WBC is eating the microbe. This is known as cell eating, or it is known as engulfment of a solid particle. Done. So that is phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is done by which cells? By which cells? WBCs. How many types of WBCs are there? There are 2 types of WBCs. Granulocytes, those have granules on the cytoplasm, and agranulocytes, those do not have granules on the cytoplasm. So granulocytes are of 3 types: neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil. Agranulocytes are of 2 types: lymphocytes and monocytes. So among them, here the neutrophils and here the monocytes. These 2 act as macrophages. So macrophages are of 2 types. Macrophages are either neutrophils or monocytes. Monocytes, after becoming macrophage, it is known as coming in the tissue, it is known as macrophage. So these 2 will act as macrophages, and these 2 will do as phagocytes. So phagocytes are 2 WBCs. Either they can be neutrophil or they can be monocyte or macrophage. Give me a thumbs up. So you should understand who will eat. Among all WBCs, who will eat the microbe? So among 5 WBCs, only 2 can eat the microbe. Only 2. In the first 24 hours, it is neutrophil, and later 24 hours, after 48 hours, it will be monocyte. This also I have told you. Rahul is asking to repeat. What should I repeat, Rahul? Have you understood? Phagocytes. Phagocytes. Who are phagocytes? There are 5 types of WBCs. From the 5 types of WBCs, only 2 are phagocytes. The neutrophils from the granulocytes and monocytes from the agranulocytes. So only neutrophils and monocytes have a capability to eat the microbe. Rest of the WBC cannot eat the microbe. So these 2 are phagocytes. Done. Should I move ahead? Give me a thumbs up, Rahul. Have you got it? So I will start phagocytosis. This mechanism was discovered by a scientist known as Machnikov. You have to learn the name for MCQs. So there is a past paper question MCQ on this name. So you have to learn this name also. Machnikov. There are 3 steps: recognition and attachment, engulfment, and killing. The most difficult one is killing. Listen, I will show you here. Can you see? This is the microbe. The red color structure here is the microbe. Let me mark it with a highlighter. This is a microbe. This is a microbe. This is a microbe. So initially, this is a microbe here. So initially WBC will come. You can see the cell. It will recognize and attach with the microbe, number one. Then it will engulf it. It will engulf it, make an envelope and engulf it, take inside. Engulf, internalization, engulfment. And then after taking inside, it will kill it. So three steps are there. Three steps are there. Can you see? This is the microbe here. This is the microbe, the yellow color capsule. And this is the WBC. So first it is attaching with the help of receptors. Then it is engulfing by taking a pseudopod, by forming an envelope around it. The envelope is taken inside, the vacuole is taken inside, internalization, and then we will kill it. The third step is killing. So how recognition takes place? So here for recognition, there are receptors present on the surface of the WBC. So the name of the receptors are mannose receptor, scavenger receptor. Mannose and scavenger receptors are present on the surface of WBC, which will recognize the microbe. After recognition, there is engulfment. How engulfment takes place? So the WBC will form a pseudopod. Can you see? Pseudopod, cytoplasmic extension, a pseudopod. So due to actin filament, pseudopod is formed, and around the microbe we will form an envelope. We will form an envelope. We will form a vacuole and take the vacuole inside. That is internalization of the vacuole. Can you see here? Can you see here? Here is the microbe. This is the microbe. See multiple diagrams. Here is the microbe. So this is a pseudopod. This is a pseudopod. We have formed an envelope. We will form a vacuole, and we have taken the microbe inside. That is internalization of the vacuole. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So this is how we are doing it. The last step is difficult. ये दोनों तो easy थी. Baby steps were there. The last step is difficult. That is killing. How you will kill the microbe? WBC has taken the microbe inside. Let me draw a diagram for you. So this is a microbe. This is WBC. First, with the help of scavenger receptor and mannose receptor, WBC will recognize the microbe. After that, the WBC will form the pseudopods and envelop the microbe and form a vacuole around it and take the microbe inside it. Take the microbe inside it in the form of the vacuole. So this is known as the second step. That is engulfment. After that, the third step is killing. Killing takes place because of free radicals, oxygen free metabolites, oxygen free. You know, yesterday those who have attended my first class of pathology, they know what is the meaning of free radicals. There are three basically free radicals: superoxide ion, hydrogen peroxide H2O2, hydroxyl ion OH negative, and HOCl and HOBr HOI. That is hypohalous acid. That is hypohalous. Halous matlab halogen. It can be hypochlorous acid, hypobromous acid, hypoiodous acid. Give me a thumbs up. These are also free radicals. So there are 6 free radicals given. Done. Strongest are these acids. These hypohalous acid are the strongest free radicals. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So how killing of the microbe takes place? There are 3 steps. There are 3 steps. Now it is of 2 types: MPO dependent and MPO independent. So the first 2 steps are common for both. The third step will be different for MPO dependent and MPO independent. I will explain you. Just listen first, then I will repeat it if you don't get it. It is difficult. What are the 3 steps? As soon as the WBC engulf the microbe inside it, then what WBC will do? WBC will take too much oxygen from the air. Too much oxygen from the air and convert the oxygen into superoxide ion. Oxygen O2 is converted into O2 negative. O2 negative. So superoxide ion is formed in presence of an enzyme known as NADPH. NADPH is present inside neutrophils. So inside all neutrophils, this NADPH is present. Can you see a neutrophil here? The cell is neutrophil. So can you see NADPH is present inside it? So it will take too much oxygen from the environment. It will take and convert this oxygen into superoxide ion. This is the first step. This step takes place in the cytoplasm. Here is the bacteria. Imagine a bacteria is present here. We have to kill this bacteria. So we will kill it in the third step. Finally, it will be killed in the third step. This is the first step. Oxygen get converted into superoxide ion by an enzyme known as NADPH oxidase. Give me a thumbs up if you got that first step. This is known as oxidative burst. This step is known as oxidative burst. Where it is written? Respiratory burst or oxidative burst, because cell is taking too much oxygen. So imagine a WBC. This is a WBC. This WBC has engulfed the bacteria. This is the bacteria present inside the WBC by forming a vacuole, enveloping, internalizing the vacuole. It has engulfed the bacteria. Now the WBC wants to kill the bacteria. So what the WBC will do? It will take too much of oxygen from the environment inside it and convert that oxygen into superoxide ion by enzyme known as NADPH oxidase. This is known as respiratory burst. The first step is over. Now what will happen to the superoxide? The superoxide will get converted into H2O2. Into H2O2, that is the second step. So second step is this superoxide will get converted into H2O2. That is hydrogen peroxide. That is the second step. Have you got it? Can you see the superoxide is getting converted into H2O2 inside the WBC? So second step is also common. Second step. Coming on the second step, superoxide getting converted into H2O2. That is the second step. Coming on the third step. Now third step is different for MPO and non-MPO. Now I will draw a diagram for you. You will have a better understanding. You will never forget. This is the WBC. Inside the WBC, this is the microbe. Let me rub it. I will draw the microbe here. Just a second, just give me a second. Okay. So here is the microbe. Just suppose here is the microbe. Here is the microbe. It is present. We want to kill this microbe. So what will happen? This WBC will take too much of oxygen from the air and convert this oxygen into superoxide ion with the help of an enzyme known as NADPH oxidase. This step is most important, known as oxidative burst. This is step 1. In the step 2, this superoxide get converted into H2O2. I don't know the name of the enzyme, but of course some enzyme is required and ultimately H2O2 is formed. The second step is also common. Now there are certain cells. H2O2 is formed. Let me write H2O2 in the center. This H2O2 is formed. Done. Now there are two possibilities. Either this cell contains MPO, so MPO is present, or this cell do not contain. Myeloperoxidase is the name of the enzyme. So MPO is not present. So MPO is myeloperoxidase. Either it is present or it is absent. So there are two scenarios. So what will happen to this H2O2? If MPO is present now, this H2O2 will get converted into HOX. X means HOCl, HOBr, HOI. So hypohalous acid will be formed. Hypohalous acid will be formed. Yes, I'm right. Hypohalous acid is formed. Give me a thumbs up. Yes or no? Yes? Yes. And this hypohalous acid will kill the bacteria. It is bactericidal. It is bactericidal. But what will happen if MPO is absent? Then this H2O2 will get converted into OH negative, hydroxyl ion. Hydroxyl ion. Either in presence of iron, it is known as Fenton's reaction, or in presence of superoxide ion, this is known as Haber-Sweis reaction. So either Fenton reaction or Haber-Sweis reaction, H2O2 will get converted into OH negative and this OH negative will kill the bacteria. Among the two killers, among the two bactericidal things, that is HOCl and OH negative, HOCl is more stronger than OH negative. It is much more stronger. So MPO positive is better, but if it is not present, it is MPO negative. Ultimately, bacteria is killed. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. I tried my best. I really tried my best. So step 3 is of two types, MPO dependent and MPO independent. If it is MPO dependent, this H2O2 in presence of MPO getting converted into HOCl or HOBr or HOI, that is hypohalous acid, and this will kill. This is bactericidal. This HOCl is bactericidal. It will kill the bacteria. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So that is the thing I will show you in this diagram also. So this H2O2 have two fates. Either it is getting converted into HOCl if MPO is present, or it is getting converted into OH negative if MPO is absent. If MPO is absent, then there are two possibilities. This H2O2 will get converted into superoxide ion. H2O2 will get converted into OH negative. If it is in presence of iron, it is known as Fenton's. Here you see H2O2 getting converted into OH negative. If it occurs in presence of iron, it is known as Fenton's reaction. If it occurs in presence of superoxide, it is known as Haber-Sweis. On every point there is an MCQ. On every point there is an MCQ. That's why I am stressing. Ultimately, killing is done. Should I launch polls based on phagocytosis? You have to give me a minute again for launching the poll. If you wish, I should launch the poll. So I have to see the answers first now before you. That's why I need a minute. Okay, only 2 questions are there. Okay. So only 2 questions are there. Very easy. This is the first poll in front of you. I have told you the name of the scientist now. So phagocytosis was discovered by which person? Name the person who have discovered phagocytosis. Just now I have told you. You all are right. The correct answer is McIncock. How you will pronounce it, I don't know. So Ali McIncock. This is the correct answer. A. Anshul, Harikrish and Khushi. You all are right. Very good. Very good. The correct answer here is A. This is the next question in front of you. Very easy. All should be right here. Oxygen dependent killing. of the microbe inside the phagocyte is done by which mechanism? Is it done by NADPH oxidase? Is it done by superoxide dismutase? Is it done by catalase? Is it done by glutathione peroxidase? Yes, most of you are correct. The correct answer here is A. I have told you for respiratory buzz, the first step, the enzyme required is NADPH oxidase. So correct answer here is A. Rest three enzymes, SOD, GP and C. I have told you these three enzymes are not for formation of free radicals. These are the scavengers of free radicals. They kill free radicals. Yesterday or day before yesterday lecture, we have completed this also. Those who have not attended the lecture must watch the recording. You can't afford missing it. If you are missing it now, it is your big loss. So that is my warning to you. So Jana, Rajesh and Divya are first to answer it correctly. Correct answer here is A. Should I move ahead? Should I move ahead? Acute inflammation is done from my side. Should I move to the chronic inflammation? I'll be a little bit faster as time is limited today also. Okay, so chronic inflammation. So I will directly come on the mechanism of chronic inflammation. Done. So chronic, as the name indicates, chronic, it is of prolonged duration. It is of prolonged duration. In chronic inflammation, three things are occurring simultaneously. Inflammation, because it is chronic, so tissue injury along with repair. इन्फ्लेमेशन हो रहा है, इन्फ्लेमेशन की वजह से टिश्यू की इंजरी हो रहा है और रिपेयर भी साइमल्टेनियसली हो रहा है. सो रिपेयर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ क्रॉनिक इन्फ्लेमेशन. सो इन रिपेयर देयर इज फाइब्रोसिस. So in chronic inflammation always accompanied by fibrosis. So that is a thing that makes it different from the acute inflammation. So here, you know one thing, I have told you WBCs are of 5 types. WBCs are of 5 types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. 3 are granulocytes, neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, and 2 are agranulocytes, monocyte and lymphocyte. The monocyte in the blood vessel is known as monocyte. Once this monocyte comes out, it is known as macrophage. So macrophage is nothing. It is the monocyte which comes out of the blood vessel. Have you know it? Do you know it? You should know it. Done. So that is the monocyte. Now let me tell you one more thing. What I was saying. Yes, the chronic inflammation is also known as granulomatous inflammation because granulomas are formed. Granulomas are formed. So what is the granuloma? How it is formed? What are the steps? Here there are not 11 steps. It is relatively easy. In acute inflammation, there were 11 steps. 5 were vascular, 6 were cellular. I'm not repeating, you know all. You know the detail of all. Say yes or no. There were 11 steps. Here only type 4 hypersensitivity takes place. So what is type 4 hypersensitivity and what are the steps? So it is very simple. Only 3 or 4 steps are there. Not 11 steps. Only 3 steps are there. So let me tell you the 3 steps in the form of a diagram. I would like to tell you this. Okay, let me form a diagram for you. Let me see it first. Okay, so can you see this is an antigen which has entered the body, which has entered the human body. This is an antigen which has entered the human body. This is antigen presenting cell or a macrophage. Macrophage is antigen presenting cell, or you can say it is a macrophage. What is macrophage? I've already told you it is a monocyte which came out of the blood. So this is a macrophage. So the first cell which come in contact with this antigen is macrophage, and macrophage will engulf it. Macrophage will engulf it. So let me draw another macrophage, and this is the antigen inside the macrophage, and macrophage after engulfing will try to degrade it, but this is not degradable. This is poorly degradable antigen, So macrophage will make it into small pieces and take it on its surface with the help of MHC, major histocompatibility complex. Take this antigen on the surface of the macrophage, and this macrophage will carry this antigen to another cell known as CD4 T cells. CD4 T cells. So there are 2 types of lymphocytes, T and B. T lymphocytes again of 2 types, CD8 and CD4. So it is CD4 T lymphocyte. So this cell is carrying this antigen to CD4 T cell. कि ये तो नहीं मर रहा, इसका क्या करना है? This antigen has arrived in human body and it is not killing. I'm unable to kill it. It is poorly degradable. What we can do now? So this CD4 T cell, what it will do? It will get stimulated and it will secrete 3 chemokines inside it. 3 chemokines from it. So what are the name of these 3 chemokines? Interleukin 2, TNF, and interferon gamma. Interferon gamma. Learn the names. TNF alpha, interferon gamma, and IL-2. You have to be specific. So these 3 chemicals are secreted by these T cells. So what it will do, one by one I will tell you. What it will do. Okay, this interleukin 2 will do further accumulation of more T lymphocytes. So more and more T lymphocyte will accumulate here. More and more T lymphocyte. This interleukin 2 is doing. This interferon gamma, this TNF alpha will do the accumulation of fibroblast. These are the fibroblasts. Accumulation of fibroblast is done by TNF TNF alpha, and most important among them is interferon gamma. This interferon gamma will modify the macrophage. These macrophages will be modified. What modification is done? Their nucleus will enlarge. It will become more vesicular. Cytoplasm will enlarge, more abundant cytoplasm, and cytoplasm will be vacuolated. So that modified macrophage is known as epithelioid cells. Epithelioid cells. So tell me the function of all three. Who will tell me? Interleukin 2 will cause more proliferation of CD4 T cells. TNF alpha will cause proliferation of fibroblasts, spindle cell fibroblasts, and interferon gamma will cause the conversion of macrophage into epithelioid cells. Modify. Have you got it? So these modified, ultimately a granuloma is formed. How it is formed, granuloma? So let me tell you how granuloma is formed. Multiple epithelioid cells will come at the center. Epithelioid cells will come at the center. These are epithelioid cells which are formed by interferon gamma. So these epithelioid cells will fuse with each other, and some of the giant cells are formed. Some of the giant cells are formed because of fusion of the epithelioid cells. Giant cells are formed, and after that will come the CD4. These are the center. At the periphery, CD4 T lymphocytes. CD4 T lymphocyte proliferation is done by interleukin 2. So they will also come, and at the most periphery, fibroblast will come. These are the spindle-shaped fibroblasts whose proliferation is done by TNF alpha. So they will come at most periphery. This is the diagram of a granuloma. So at the center, we have epithelioid cells. Due to fusion of epithelioid cells, there is formation of giant cells. Around it, there are T lymphocytes, and around it, there is fibroblast. Give me a thumbs up. And at the center, in the end, this is a hard granuloma. This is a hard. Till now, there is no necrosis. There are 5 types of necrosis we know, no? Coagulative, collicative, caseous, fat, and fibrinoid. So among them, the caseous wala necrosis will occur at the center. At the center, caseous necrosis will occur. Now this is known as soft granuloma. This is known as soft caseating granuloma. So this is the how granuloma is formed. These are the steps. Have you got it? Have you got it? So first step is engulfment by the macrophage. Macrophage will engulf the antigen, try to degrade it, unable to degrade it, take it to CD4 T cell. CD4 T cell will get activated. It will secrete 3 things. It will secrete three cytokines. You know the names: IL-2, TNF alpha, interferon gamma, and you know the function of each of them, and ultimately a granuloma is formed. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. See the same thing here also. Here you can see this is the antigen presenting cell, and this is the antigen. So it is taking the antigen on its surface and presenting it to CD4 T cell. CD4 T cell is secreting 3 things. You can see the 3 things here. Let me show you the 3 things. So CD4 T cell is secreting 3 things. Can you see? I have marked the 3 things for you. So it is secreting IL-2, it is secreting TNF, it is secreting interferon gamma. IL-2, what it is causing? The self-renewal of the T cells. TNF alpha is causing fibroblast, and interferon gamma is modifying the monocyte, and ultimately a granuloma is formed. See, the center is having epithelioid cells. Some of the epithelioid cells fuses with each other and form giant cells. See, this is a giant cell. Around it, there are T lymphocytes, and at the most periphery, there are fibroblasts. So ultimately, this is the diagram of a granuloma. In the granuloma, macrophages are converted into modified macrophages, which are known as epithelioid cells, which fill the center. Some of the epithelioid cells fuses with each other and they form giant cells. Surrounded to it are CD4 T lymphocytes, and surrounded to it, there is fibroblast. And in the center, necrosis may be present, may be absent. So hard and soft granuloma are formed like this. And this is the actual diagram of a granuloma on a histopathological image. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. Can you see a giant cell at the center? Try to appreciate it. These all are epithelioid cells. And can you see the blue color cells here are the T lymphocytes, and most periphery there is fibroblast. So these are this is the diagram. This is a diagram of a granuloma. This is a diagram of a granuloma. So there are 5 types of things in a granuloma. The center have epithelioid cells. Some of the epithelioid cells fuse and form giant cells. Around it, there is lymphocytes, CD4 T lymphocytes. Around it, there are fibroblasts. And in the center, there is caseous necrosis. Give me a thumbs up again. Give me a thumbs up fast, very fast. I need your thumbs up very fast. Done. So let me tell you, epithelioid cells are the modified macrophages. What modification is done? Their nucleus become vesicular, their cytoplasm become abundant, and cytoplasm contains hazy outline, and it is weakly phagocytic. So these modifications are done. You can see here, this is a monocyte. When monocyte comes out, it is known as macrophage. This is a macrophage. Monocyte converted into macrophage. And these are the modifications done in the macrophage, so it is known as epithelioid cells. So it is known as epithelioid cell. Can you see monocyte This is monoblast in the bone marrow. It is monocyte, it is macrophage, and it is getting converted into activated macrophage, that is epithelioid cells. Give me a thumbs up. Monoblast से बना monocyte, monocyte से बना macrophage, macrophage से बना epithelioid cell, जो बनाएगा center of the granuloma. So it will form the center. Multiple of them is fuse each other and known as giant cells. So how many types of giant cells you know? Again, a very important MCQ. There are 4 types of giant cells: foreign body, Langerhans, Taunton, and giant cells in the tumor. So see the diagram and understand the meaning. The first type is the foreign body. You can see these ones. These ones. These are the foreign type of giant cells. In foreign body type of giant cells, the nucleus are present, haphazard anywhere they are present. In the second type, Langerhans, the nucleus are present at the periphery of the circle in the form of the 2/3 circle. It is known as horseshoe ring. Horseshoe ring shape. 2/3 circle is filled with the nucleus at the periphery, not random. Here the nucleus are random. Multiple nucleus are random. Here and in the form of horseshoe shape either, or the nucleus are clustered at the poles, north pole, south pole. The nucleus are clustered at the poles. So these two arrangements are seen in Langerhans. And the third one is Taunton. The nucleus will form a circle. Multiple nucleus combined together, and the nucleus will form arranged in the form of a circle. And the most important thing in Taunton is that the cytoplasm contains vacuoles. The cytoplasm contains vacuoles. So you have to learn the examples of each of them. Have you got it? Give me a thumbs up. So this is the first type, foreign body giant cells. Nucleus are scattered, randomly arranged everywhere. The example is leprosy and TB. So write the example here, TB and leprosy. The second one का example is sarcoidosis and TB. TB दोनों जगह है. So Langerhans में they are present either at the periphery in the form of horseshoe ring or at the 2 poles. One of the 2 things. Example TB and sarcoid. So TB present here also. TB में foreign type भी होते हैं. TB में Langerhans भी होते हैं. But in leprosy only foreign type. In sarcoidosis only Langerhans. Give me a thumbs up. And the third one, Taunton. It is present in xanthoma. The example is xanthoma. The third one is Taunton. Here the cytoplasm is vacuolated due to lipid. The example is xanthoma. So tell me example. TB यहाँ भी है, TB यहाँ भी है. Here it is leprosy, here it is sarcoid, and here it is xanthoma. And see the shape of the nucleus, arrangement of the nucleus. These are the 3 main types of giant cells. Give me a thumbs up. Apart from it, the 4th one is giant cells seen in tumors. Again, it is of 3 types. One, it is present anaplastic type. It is present in hepatoblastoma. RS type, Reed-Sternberg cell. It is present in Hodgkin's lymphoma. And osteoclastic giant cell. It is present in giant cell tumor of the bone. So these are the tumor cells. These are not giant cells. These are false pseudo cells. So 3 are true, 3 are pseudo. The true one are foreign body, Langerhans and Taunton. You know the examples. Taunton का xanthoma है, यहाँ पे sarcoid है, यहाँ पे leprosy है, TB इन दोनों में है. And here you know the examples. Anaplastic is seen in hepatocellular carcinoma. It is seen in Hodgkin's lymphoma, Reed-Sternberg, and this is seen in giant cell tumor of the bone. So you have to learn the examples. I'm a little bit fast, I know, but I have to complete it. So that is how a granuloma is formed. Give me a thumbs up, everyone. And necrosis is always caseating necrosis at the center. Let me finish the chronic granulation, chronic inflammation. Let me tell the examples. Now, how many examples of chronic inflammation you know? How many examples? Write in the chat box fast. How many examples of chronic inflammation you know? Give me the examples. 1, 2. TB तो सबको पता है ना? तो say something else. मुझे पता है सब TB बोलोगे. TB के अलावा कुछ पता है? TB के अलावा RA, Tabish saying RA. What are those? So you have to learn 8 bacterial. You have to learn 8 bacterial, 4 fungal, 1 parasitic, and 5 others. So 8 bacterial, 4 fungal, 1 parasitic, and 5 others. Itne on the tip of your tongue for solving MCQs, because MCQs comes on examples. So you have to read it. I will be little bit fast. So the 8 bacterial are TB. TB to sabko pata hai. TB, leprosy, syphilis, granuloma inguinal, that is Donovaniasis, brucella, cat's flesh disease by Coccobacilli, toluramia by Posturella, and Gardner's disease by Actinomycetes malai. So these are the name of the bacteria, and these are the name of the diseases caused by these bacteria. So learn 8 bacteria and the diseases caused by them. For the examples of chronic inflammation, 8 bacteria on the tip of your tongue. You will not miss even a single one. Done. Name 4 fungus. So actinomycosis is the disease caused by this fungus. Blastomycosis is the disease caused by this fungus. Cryptococcus is the disease caused by this fungus, and coccidiomycosis is the disease caused by this fungus. So learn the name of fungus and disease caused by them. 4 fungus, 1 parasite. Cystosomia. You can't forget, only one is there, so question can come on it. Cystosomia, cause schistosomiasis. So it is a chronic disease. So one parasite. And others में there is sarcoid, Crohn's disease, silicosis, berylliosis, foreign body granulomas. So 8 bacteria, 4 fungus, 1 parasite, 5 others. Learn it again and again. And there will be many MCQs given in my notes also. But my time is over, so I have to end this link. I have to end. And after that, wound healing is there. Okay, where is the MCQs? MCQs are in the end. You can see it. So just give me 1 minute. So I have finished acute inflammation also, chronic inflammation also. Most of the questions from chronic inflammation, I have not launched the polls now. That's why I'm telling you, most of the questions from chronic inflammation will come either from the examples which I have taught you in the end, or either on the giant cells types of the giant cells, or on the 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? How a granuloma is formed. So it is a small portion. That is chronic inflammation. Everyone give me a thumbs up. Everyone give me a thumbs up. Have you got it? So I'm done with inflammation today. Acute also, chronic also. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed teaching you. Next class, just after 5 minutes, we have next class. So we have next class just after 5 minutes. We have next class. In the next class, I am going to discuss IBQs for FMGE exam. So today I will discuss pathology IBQs. In pathology, I will discuss respiratory system IBQs. So don't miss it. Don't dare to miss it. Please come back. PDF of IBQs, I will share it on Telegram. You have to join the Telegram group. Done. So PDF, I will share all PDF, I will share there only. And here also it will be available on Unacademy. On YouTube, it is not available. I take sessions on YouTube also. YouTube wala PDF is not available to you, but on special classes, the PDF is already available to you. Yes or no? So don't go anywhere. After 5 minutes, take a copy. My copy is waiting actually. Take a strong copy. Refresh yourself. Come back on 4:15 sharp. Not 5:15. It is 4:15 sharp. Just after 5 minutes. Come back. Join another link of IBQ. We will be back. Episode 2. Done. Okay. See you. Bye-bye. I'm ending this.